in our attempt to identify and groom and nourish the youth of our community and to develop them into good speakers. Tonight, in fact, we have got yet another dynamic speaker of our community. He is Brother Hasan Moosa Reza. He is going to be speaking from tonight until 3 more nights, inshallah. I'm sure you all will benefit from his inspiring lectures. Please welcome him with a loud salawat, Brother Hasan Moosa Reza.
I ask you in beginning that to recite Surah Fatiha. On the way here, I received the sad news that a dear friend of mine, his father's uncle, was shaheed today in Karachi. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله عليك يا سيدي يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله صلى الله عليك يا ابن رسول الله يا رحمة الله الواسعة يا باب نجاة الأمة يا غريب يا مظلوم كربلاء يا ليتنا ثم يا ليتنا كنا معكم سعادتي فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما أما بعد فقد قال الله عز وجل في كتابه المجيد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم رجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. A story comes to us of a man who wished all of his life to be in the army of Imam al-Hussain. So much so, day and night, for year after year, he used to recite this verse from the opening khutbah. Ya laytana kunna ma'akum sadati fa'anafuz wallahu fawdan azima. Meaning, oh, if only I had been with you, I too could have achieved a great victory. There comes a night when in his sleep, this man sees a dream in which he finds himself on the plains of Karbala on the day of Ashura. And he sees in front of him the army of Umar ibn Sa'd la'natullahu alayhi. And behind him he sees Sayyid al-Shuhada Aba Abdillah al-Hussain alayhi salam. Suddenly the army fires an arrow towards him. As he sees this arrow piercing the little air between the army and him, fear starts to build up in him. And at the very last moment, he says that in my dream I duck, and this very arrow goes and hits Aba Abdillah in the chest. Aba Abdillah turns to him at this point and says, O Ful'an, did I not tell you that my 72 men were unique? Brothers and sisters, these 72 men, women and children gave their whole lives, gave everything they had, their kith and their kin and their tomorrow, for us, for our religion. They endured hardship unseen since, unseen before, or will not be seen again. They subjected their women to the torture of Yazid, and they gave everything they had for our sake. It is with this in mind that inshallah in these 3 nights, I hope to begin to present to you the biographies of some of these men present on the plains of Karbala. It is somewhat by chance that Zuhayr ibn Qayn found himself coming across the caravan of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam. One of the single most phenomenal aspects of Karbala, and the reason why these select men never left the side of Imam al-Hussain, was the very personality of him. The love he showed, the devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the firmness to his path, and the belief in his message meant that the likes of Hurr and Zuhayr were attracted to him, and those who were with him from Medina never left his side and never even considered leaving his side. So high is their position that Aba Abdillah says in regards to his companions that I am not aware of companions more faithful and more exalted than those of mine. Unfortunately, in regards to the early life of Zuhayr, we have little information other than that he was a resident of the city of Kufa and a well-known warrior. Sheikh Abbas al-Qumi, in the great author of Mafatil al-Jinan, narrates in his book Nafs al-Mahmoom, one of the foremost books on the Karbala tragedy, and available in English for us all to inshallah benefit from. He narrates the meeting that took place between Imam al-Hussain and Zuhayr. He notes that initially Zuhayr had tried to avoid the caravan of Imam al-Hussain for various reasons. But despite this, by chance, Zuhayr and Imam al-Hussain end up at the same rest spot at the same time. As the caravan of Zuhayr is sitting down for a meal, Imam al-Hussain dispatches a messenger to him who comes to him and says, "O Zuhayr, your master Hussain wishes to sit with you." Zuhayr, Sheikh Abbas narrates, reluctantly entered into this meeting, a meeting that changed the direction of his whole life. While Sheikh Abbas says the meeting was very short, he notes that it was marked with Zuhayr being awestruck, wondered and inspired by Aba Abdillah. It's not long until Zuhayr returns to his people and tells them to take his tent up and put it next to the tent of Imam al-Hussain. Karbala is riddled with examples such as Zuhayr's for us. That while there is a time and a place for us to go out and act to bring people to our religion, to go out and preach to people to bring them to our religion, it's equally important that in our private lives, when we're at work, when we're at school, we hold ourselves in a manner that even down to the social settings we sit in, the sorts of people we relate to, that when people see us, they ask, who are these people? And when they find out that we are the Shia of Ali, they ask, who are the Shia of Ali? And when they find that out, they ask, who is this great man, Imam Ali? This is exactly what Aba Abdillah did throughout his journey. When it was required, he went out and he gave phenomenal khutbahs. But a lot of the people, Zuhayr, Wahab, who will cover tomorrow inshallah, or a lot of them came to him through his impeccable akhlaq. As Aba Abdillah allowed his akhlaq, his manners and his behavior to do the work for him. Even today, when we speak to our revert brothers and sisters, and we ask them what brought you to Islam, how many of them tell us that it was the message of Imam al-Hussain? Even though this message 1400 years later is in pen and paper and no longer a physical manifestation, Aba Abdillah, just like his grandfather in the early days of the religion, is still drawing people back to Sirat al-Mustaqim. Such is the position of Zuhayr that Imam al-Zamana himself makes a direct reference to him in his Ziyarah. Our Imam says, peace be upon Zuhayr, the one when given the chance by Hussain, referring to Shabi Ashur, the one when given the chance by Hussain to return, said, by Allah, we shall never forsake you. Should we desert the Prophet's son and leave him amidst his enemies to save ourselves? May we never witness such a day. Sallallahu alayka ya Sayyidi ya Ali ibn al-Hussain al-Akbar. Tonight, brothers and sisters, is the night when we are remembering Ali Akbar, the son of Imam Hussain. When we remember that man from whose chest Aba Abdillah pulled the spear. When we remember the son of every mother on the day of Ashura. Ali Akbar, the Maqtal, tells us on the day of Ashura, after all of the companions had left, strides out of the tent with all the countenance of the Prophet, in the way that he walked, in the way that he talked. So much so it was as if Rasulullah himself had entered the battlefield, his face shining like the new moon. Aba Abdillah sees Ali Akbar approaching and he begins to weep. As Ali approaches his father and he asks for the permission, Aba Abdillah looks towards the heavens and begins to cry out, Ya Allah, Be a witness upon these men that the man who most resembles your Prophet in his character and his speech, in his behaviors and his manners, is now going out towards them. So much so, Ya Allah, that whenever we desire the ziyarah of Rasulullah, we would look towards Ali Akbar. Aba Abdillah said neither yes nor no to Ali Akbar, for how can an elderly father give a young son the permission to go out to death, and not any death, the sort of death Aba Abdillah knew and we know Ali Akbar would face. All he says is, oh Ali, you have the permission from me, you have the permission from your mother Layla, but there is another lady in those tents who has been more of a parent to you than either of us. Go and seek the permission of Sayyidah Zainab. Ya Zainab, what oppression did Zainab not face on this day? What calamity did she not face on this day? Ali Akbar rides out to the enemy, and as he's riding out, he hears footsteps behind him. He turns to see his elderly father running after him, and he says to him, "Oh father, oh Hussain, you gave me the permission to leave. Why is it that you now follow me?" Aba Abdillah says to him, "Oh Ali, it breaks my heart that you never got the chance to be a father. Oh Ali, had you been a father, you would know how difficult this moment is for your father Hussain. Oh Ali, every few steps please turn back and look at me so I can give my final salam. Ya Hussain." Ali Akbar rides out in this manner, calling out, "I am Ali ibn al-Hussain ibn Ali. By the house of Allah, we possess more of a relation to the Prophet than Shabbos and Shimmer. I shall strike at you with my sword until it bends, the sword of a Hashemi, Alawi youth, defending my father until my blood is spilled." Ali Akbar at one point comes to Aba Abdillah, having fought bravely, asking for a drop of water. Alas, there is no water for Ali, and later there is no water for Asghar. Ali returns to the battlefield, having released himself from his armor, ready to return to Rasulullah, when Mur'ad al-Ayn comes towards Ali Akbar and he throws the spear that embeds in Ali Akbar's chest. Ali Akbar is drenched in his blood, and the enemies see him falling and all come and start attacking him. As this is happening, he calls out, "Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdillah. Here is my grandfather Rasulullah coming to me. Oh Ali, I ask you, why did you say salams and not adarikni ya Mawla? For you knew that her father cannot see his son like this." Nonetheless, Aba Abdillah enters the battlefield like a roaring lion, crying out, "Waladi Ali, Waladi Ali." As he gets closer, Ali Akbar sees his father is stumbling. He says, "Oh father, what has happened? Why is it that you stumble as you approach me?" Aba Abdillah says, "Oh Ali, you are the light of my eyes. It is as if this light has been diminished and darkness has enveloped me." He then called out, "Oh my dear son Ali, may Allah kill he who has killed you. What audacity do these people have that they are killing the family of Rasulullah?" As Aba Abdillah is on top of the body of Ali Akbar screaming out, "Waladi Ali," he sees that sometimes Ali would smile and sometimes Ali would cry. He says to him, "Oh my son Ali, why is it that sometimes you smile and sometimes you cry?" Ali Akbar says, "Oh father, I smile for I see Rasulullah coming towards me. He is quenching my thirst with water from Kawthar. But oh Aba Abdillah, I weep for I see your mother Fatima above you. She is weeping and lamenting what is happening to us." Finally, the hardest moment comes as Aba Abdillah makes Ali remove his hands from that hidden injury. I don't know what went through the heart of Aba Abdillah when he saw the broken spear. Those of you who are fathers, imagine the moment. What would you feel? As the poet says, Aba Abdillah, when he went to lift the spear. Maybe he looked towards Najaf, as if to say, oh Abba, oh Ali, on the day of Khaybar, you only had to lift the door. Come to Karbala and see Hussein lift the spear from Ali Akbar. Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Hussein, Azam Allah wajurana, wa ajurakum bi musabina bi Sayyidina Ali Akbar. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, wa sayalamu alladhina zalamu ala Muhammadan ayyahum qalibun yanqalibun.
This was Brother Hasan Moosa Reza. Inshallah, he'll be here again tomorrow night and the day after. So please come early if possible at around 7:30. We shall be speaking it at that time. मौलाना सरफराज खान साहब से गुजारिश की वो तशरीफ लाए और आज की मजलिस से खिताब फरमाएं और इस दौरान आपसे हज़रात से गुजारिश है कि थोड़ा थोड़ा और आगे तशरीफ ले आए और इससे पहले कि मौलाना अपना बयान शुरू करें आज के स्पॉन्सर जनाब ब्रदर सफदर हुसैन भाई के मरहुमीन और हाज़रीन के मरहुमीन और तमाम जुमला मरहुमीन मोमिनात खुसूसन जो भाई ने बताया जिसकी आज शहादत वाक़ई हो गई है कराची में उनके लिए भी तमाम अपने अपने मरहुमीन के लिए सूरत मुबारक फातिहा।
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
सलाम हो आप पे ए हुसैन के अस्हाबो आप पर सलाम। सलाम हो आप पे हुसैन के अस्हाबो आप पे सलाम।